been over 4 weeks since the lockdown in Lagos, Ogun State, Abuja, and other states across the country have taken initiative to lock down their state. So and a lot of this has affected a lot of businesses across Nigeria, and all these businesses have come to just essential services. These are businesses around the media, businesses, pharmacies, hospitals. So, you being a CEO of a media company that thrives in knowing what the streets are saying, how do you think businesses and people are faring during this time?
It's an interesting time. It's good for some, and it's not so good for others. But like I said to everyone, this is a major moment in history, and only those who are fearless and courageous to accept the current circumstance and to get themselves into the mindset of thinking and finding ways to move and navigate this new normal. It's a time where more people need to sit down and rethink their business strategies and structures. It's a time where people need to understand if they need to pivot, if they need to stop what they're doing and start something else, if they need to expand and deepen what they're doing, because there's so many opportunities for their businesses at this time. It's a time where people need to accept and understand that at the end of this season, there will be winners and there will be losers. And what you do now will determine what side of the divide that you fall. This new world that we're about to go into will come with its own problems, its own limitations. How are businesses going to solve it? How are you going to take those as opportunities to solve the new problems of this new world? Because you will have sophisticated problems. So the problems that Jumia, Konga, and Co solve, the problem that the internet solve, the problem that radio solve, every season there are new platforms, new tools that solve problems. This is a time for many of us to get our thinking caps on. And I hear those conversations about, don't burden anybody with thinking, telling them to get a new skill, etc. Well, that's fine. Nobody's burdening you. It's just that it's for your own good. So if you can try to find any motivation to rethink your business, to re-strategize, and for those who don't have work, who don't have anything they do, who don't have any company they're running, this is the moment to start a company. This is the moment to find new businesses, to start, because there are problems that this new world, limitations that this new world will come with, and they will need entrepreneurs to solve and take advantage of it.
I like how you put that. It makes it sound really easy. But first, we're talking about intervention. And one of the things we're doing with the website Beating Corona is scouting for interventions by brands, persons, organizations, people, and also providing a platform for people who need these resources to access them. I remember checking the website, and the first interface, the first page, I saw one of those boxes that had interventions, that provided interventions, and it said underneath, apply here. Apply here. And there's also a page that says, if you want to donate, here's a click here to donate, click here. So what is the motivation behind the launch of the website?
Corona.com came as a response to the plethora of interventions that we found were happening across the country without any authoritative platform where one could go and find an intervention to support, or to go and find anyone who's created an intervention to help people. We realized that there was a gap in connecting the people to the interventions and connecting funders to interventions. There were many people who were hoping to fund platforms, many people were hoping to fund different interventions, but they didn't know where to go. But people were asking me, what do I do? Who should I go to? Who should I support? So beatingcorona.com became an answer to be able to guide and direct people towards finding the platform where they can support, where they can actually also go and get help, or where they can connect people to find help. So many times you find people saying, do give away, send me money, etc. Well, beatingcorona.com, has all those answers. on who is giving out food, who is giving out money, who is giving relief materials, who is giving raw food. It has all of those captured in there. So go on and check beatingcorona.ng if you would like to support an intervention. There are several interventions to support, from Banky W's Lekki Food Bank to young professional organizations, newly launched isolation center in Onikon, to Food Bank NG in Lekki, to MedPlus intervention in Lagos Island. There's several platforms, and there are numbers to call, people to connect with on those different platforms, to be able to get help or to be able to support someone, support a family.
Great. Fantastic how you mentioned Banky W and other organizations who are doing the work to provide this intervention. So over the weeks, we've seen different celebrities help in their little way, without mentioning any name. We've seen them help in their own little way, and we've seen others use their platforms to amplify the message that we are going to beat Corona first, and also amplify the message of safety. And so, what do you think is the role of influencers and celebrities in the sustenance of intervention?
I think, in the age of fast information, these individuals have become like television. So the way a television would have, a channel would boast of 20 million viewers, 10 million viewers, 300,000 viewers. Now individuals boast of this almost same amount of viewership in followership. And at the time like this, platforms that have such following need to take the responsibility of sharing correct information very seriously. They also need to take the responsibility of sharing, good information on how to keep safe, reminding people how to keep safe, reminding people how to be responsible at this time. They also owe it, to share messages of hope and inspiration at this time. People are helpless, people are hopeless. People would like to hear some, good news, inspiring messages. So they also owe it, to share. And they owe it to also then connect people to help. So they know about interventions and different help platforms are happening anywhere. They owe it to their followers to bring the opportunities onto their platform. CBN earmarks some amount of money, Bank of Industry, different interventions like that. You need to get your followers so that they can partake, in all of these grants and fundings that are all available for Nigerians.
So his program says, why can't we all, I'm trying to read his message. So he says, why can't we all aim to assist in distribution from the government? It sounds like individuals, it's individuals that are shouldering this relief responsibility. You understand the question?
Why can't we all distribute from the government?
Why can't we all key in to assist in distribution from the government? It sounds like it's individuals shouldering this relief responsibility.
So basically, if I wanted to make an intervention, why can't I key it into what the government is doing already? That's not a bad idea. I guess people know the reasons why they're not keying in. Sometimes there's an assumption that government is not accessible. Sometimes there's an assumption that, government isn't interested in the partnership, so people don't bother. But yeah, it surely is a good idea. Sometimes you also want to work without any bureaucracy and just do your thing at your own pace, with your own style, and with the understanding that you have of the people that you're serving. But there's nothing wrong with you. And many of the brands that we've advised, that we've worked with through this season, they've keyed into, the government structure, because government already has a structure that, if effectively used, can actually reach, many, much more people effectively around the country.
So how do we, another beautiful point you raised. So how do we sustain this interventions, donations, funding, and collaboration? Because there are lots of money, and you go on Twitter, a lot of people hear this money. Oh, this body donated this money. This person donated this money. That brand donated this. So how do we sustain this intervention, donations, funding, and collaboration?
So many of the interventions, the people who have spearheaded it, I believe, it will be rely on them to sustain what they spearheaded. But an opportunity for a platform like beatingcorona.ng is to also be the coordinator. That's an opportunity. Is to reach out, since we already have the database, and to coordinate a sustenance model for these platforms. That's one.
Okay.
Two, is for government in itself to say, listen, we can't do it all by ourselves. So that question about why are people not plugging into government, it can also be reversed. Government needs to also reach platforms like beatingcorona.ng, get the list of all these interventions, and together, let us go and work with all of these different interventions, give them structure, and help them sustain what they're doing over a period of time. When this came, government called for people, come and support us, come and help us. Well, people are already helping. So how can government actually map these people with platforms like beatingcorona.ng and create support to sustain? Now, when the lockdown is lifted, people who are also helping out might find the temptation to let go. My advice is don't let go. The new world, the daily sustenance guys might still suffer. For the first couple of months, almost to the end of this year, many businesses will still take a hit. People will still need support. Crime might still be high. And this time around, people on the road, God forbid that cars are being smashed, all those funny things that can happen in traffic and on the road. So all of these interventions will still be needed even after the lockdown is lifted. These interventions are not just for lockdown. So anyone listening who has an intervention, this intervention is not just for the lockdown. It's actually going to be relevant even in the new world that will be in for the next 6 months to probably 18 months.
Fantastic. So, Uncle Chike is asking, how do elderly ones in remote locations access intervention?
I would say that there are specific interventions for the elderly, the compromised. You can check on the website, beatingcorona.ng, to see what to find. You can also go on Twitter. You can search Google as well. I'm sure the local governments as well, they also have different interventions. If it goes round, it's another conversation. But please visit the website and find interventions that are specifically for the elderly and the compromised.
It's important to note that I had a conversation. It's important to note that I had a conversation with a journalist a few days ago. We talked about the effects of the pandemic, some of the effects the pandemic would have on Nigeria post COVID-19. So, and one thing he said was that media bosses are smiling. So, as a media, as a CEO of a thriving media business, is that the truth?
I'm not sure that's the entire truth. We've taken our mandate seriously to guide our clients at this time to help them actually make impact. We've encouraged them to make bold, courageous decisions that will impact the lives of Nigerians. And for me, if some of those ideas have already been done, if more of those ideas are done, I think that I've actually had a fantastic season. If we're able to use their machinery, their networks, and all their funding to actually really impact the lives of Nigerians. When things like this happen, media budgets are usually like the first budget that people cut, media and marketing. So definitely it's not a most interesting time in this sector. But then it takes the bold and the courageous and the very smart, to continue to unearth and find, resources from organizations, at this time. So, it's half and half, but a lot depends on the team or the CEO to unearth opportunities at this time, regardless of the business, but media and marketing budgets are usually almost the first hit, in a crisis time in organizations.
Fantastic how you mentioned organizations, and you're the CEO of Red for Africa. Red for Africa is a group that houses a number of companies. Did you hear me? Yes, so Red for Africa houses a number of companies. What are some of the projects and initiatives your companies have launched in this fight against COVID-19?
So I mean, beating Corona.ng, we talked about that already, which is launched by the Future Project. WhyNigeria.com and Robin Minds has spent time telling stories of the underserved, giving a voice to Nigerians, spotlighting stories of victors, people who have contacted the coronavirus and they've also come out victorious, so that others can learn on how. So we've used all our media platforms to clarify messaging, to tell these stories and share inspirational messages of hope. We've created beatingcorona.ng to curate and connect citizens to interventions, funders to interventions. We've read media and statecraft. We've helped a lot of our clients, in actually impacting people this time, either by directly putting money or food in their hands, different policies, working with our clients to slash prices of their products, so that Nigerians who need this product can also buy it with a lower expense, on themselves at this time. And then we've also created different interventions. We have one on Sunday in Lagos Island, that we've also directly been involved in, over this time across the group company.
All right, fantastic. So we've had this conversation about the website beatingcorona.in, which is important for the intervention, accessible for people in Nigeria. So are we not looking outside Nigeria? What are your thoughts about? Do you think this should go beyond Nigeria?
I mean, well, we already have interest from different organizations in different countries who want to model what we've done with beatingcorona.ng. They want to do beatingcorona.sa, beatingcorona.kq, which is fantastic. So we're moving it, and the vision was really an African vision. It was a continental project anyway, so we're moving this swiftly to reach other countries, because it is important to have an authoritative platform where you can connect funders to interventions and interventions to the people. Very important.
All right, fantastic. So I love the way you're answering all the questions. You're fantastic and you're brilliant. So you as the CEO of a group, what are your projections of Nigeria after coronavirus? Because somebody just said, I just read a message from Adebola Williams, who says the wise country would shun corruption and develop a plan after this lockdown experience. So how would Nigeria look after the coronavirus?
So again, it's in two parts. One part, we're hoping that the government will see this as an opportunity to make some bold decisions to redirect the future of this country. The government needs to know its people. The government needs census, it needs data, it needs household mapping, it needs demography mapping, it needs to understand the different sectors and how to actually stimulate them. At the moment, SMEs are complaining bitterly that there are no specific palliatives from the government that targets us medium businesses or SME businesses. In the UK, for example, salaries of businesses, companies who are in business, the government is paying some salaries, some portion of salaries, at the moment. So the Nigerian government needs to see this moment as one where you want to understand the framework of your people, the opportunities that lie here, the talent industry. We've been talking about agriculture. We haven't scaled. This is the moment. Aba it should be the new China. It's still there. The factories in Kano, the leather industry. This is the moment to move away from lip service and actually begin to do the work and actually begin to engineer and create things in the society. This is the moment. If we're going to be a superpower or even be standing at all by post-COVID, it is decisions that the government will make now. And on the side of entrepreneurs, this is the time to also begin to make bold and go and find those businesses. How can we as a group of individuals go and change Aba, go and take over Aba? How can we as a group of entrepreneurs come together and actually put investments to create farms and agri-produce for export, So what can we do on the side of the citizen that doesn't depend on the government? So it's really for citizens to collaborate more, to make bold decisions, and go into all the sectors with big potential, fertilizers, because oil is almost gone. It's almost gone. With 200 million people in Nigeria, one of our resources should be human beings. There should be a movement where we have enough doctors back home, and they will now send the spare. Best doctors in the UK, best doctors all around the world. Nigerians are all over the list. So this is the time where we also need to build our human capital resource. And these 200 million people begin to move around the world, living the DNA of Nigeria, the excellent DNA, the can-do spirit, the breaking boundaries, crashing ceiling spirit, like we say in the future awards. How many more minutes do we have?
All right. That's a great place to end it. It's been
Really?
fantastic.
Fantastic.
And I love the fact that you linked it to a report that the Red for Africa Culture Intelligence team came up with, which is about innovation and collaboration. But we've had a great conversation, and I'd like to.
Every season will require innovation. So even before the COVID-19, we pass through seasons all the time. And businesses that survive are those that innovate. Because life is in seasons. Planting season, waiting, nurturing season, and harvest season. So life is in seasons. So this is another season where we as Nigerians need to rethink, and be creative. And understand. So this is the time to consume credible information from credible sources on where the world is going. Industries that will survive, opportunities to plug into. This is the time. Do not spend your time consuming information on fear and fake news, but rather life-changing information. You have to remember that at the end of this season, there will be winners and there will be losers. You choose what side of those or of these two you will be standing.
Fantastic. I love it. It was really amazing talking to you, Mr. Adebola Williams. I'm the CEO of Red for Africa. And I'd like to end with this message from this person. It's important that we note that one of the resources we have in Nigeria are human resources. That was the comment from Ileri Lawal. Thank you so much, everyone who joined us. This was an amazing conversation. And thank you for your time, Mr. Adebola.
Thank you.